This is the third in our series of stoichiometry videos where we're using a balanced equation to come up with either moles or grams of reactants or products. We're going to use the same balanced equation that we used in the last video, which is 2 moles of a magnesium solid react with 2 moles of 1 mole of oxygen gas to produce 2 moles of magnesium oxide. In this particular problem, they're asking us how many moles of product would be produced by a complete reaction. Complete reaction tells us that there are no limiting reactants of 32 grams of oxygen. So that is our given. Notice that we are in grams, and we are looking for moles of product. And our product would be magnesium oxide. So before we can do our mole-to-mole conversion using our balanced equation, we need to convert out of grams and into moles. So we're going to set up our first step of dimensional analysis is always our given. We need to convert grams of oxygen into moles of oxygen. I'm going to bring grams of oxygen down. And to determine how many grams are in 1 mole, we look at our periodic table. And over here we find oxygen. The molar mass of 1 atom of oxygen is roughly 16 grams. But since this is a diatomic element, meaning that there are 2 atoms that make up 1 mole, we are going to double that amount so that 1 mole of oxygen is actually 32 grams. And we're going to set that up as our next conversion factor in our dimensional analysis problem. 32 grams of oxygen is equal to 1 mole of oxygen. That will cancel out. So now we are at moles of oxygen. We can bring moles of oxygen down in our next step, and we're going to convert moles of oxygen to moles of magnesium oxide. If we look at our balanced equation, it is a 1:2 ratio. Whoops. So that will be the next section of our dimensional analysis, or our next conversion factor. 1 mole of oxygen gas is equal to 2 moles of magnesium oxide. And that will cancel out, I've already canceled out grams, moles of oxygen for us. So now we're left with moles of magnesium oxide on top, and that is what we are looking for, so we stop and do the math. 32 divided by 32 is 1, times 2 is 2. So our answer is 2 moles of magnesium oxide. In our next video, we'll look at grams to gram conversion.